there, everyone. Welcome back to our Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 5, and the Bad Batch Season 2 finale, Episodes 15 and 16, full spoiler review. Before we dive fully into it, please make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. It's the best way to keep up to date with us on all our latest news, reviews, predictions, let's play, skits, and everything else that's coming out. And with the Bad Batch ending, our focus will be fully shifting over to The Mandalorian and for the rest of its runtime. So please make sure to subscribe so you're staying up to date on that. And make sure to comment down below. We definitely appreciate listening to your guys' feedback and your comments on the latest episodes and the happenings in the Star Wars universe. And we always love responding to you guys. All right, so let's get into The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 5, titled Chapter 21, The Pirate. Liam, what were some of your standout things from this episode?
Thanks, Sanak. So, Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 5. I really love this episode. I know this is the first week I'm not doing the reaction myself, but every single week I've said that the new episode's the best episode of Season 3. I think this one I can officially say it's the best episode of Season 3. It is really solid all the way around. Good pace, nice action, good reward for the rest of the show that we've seen so far. Some really solid New Republic stuff. I like that plot is perpetuating. We talked in our predictions. We needed to see the New Republic continue. It can't be just a random thing that happens for one full episode for an hour. This needs to continue throughout the season if it's part of the main storyline. And we're now finally starting to see where the villains are, what's going on. We still don't know who is breaking Gideon out. They're obviously using the Mandalorians to frame, or they're trying to frame the Mandalorians to make it look like they broke Gideon out, but of course they didn't. But it could be Bo-Katan's people trying to get revenge from when he destroyed the planet. So we'll talk more about that in predictions, of course. But I thought that was cool detail. Carson Teva was awesome in this episode, so I loved seeing Paul Sun-Hyung Lee back again for the show. I think his character has grown into something really, really cool. And then, of course, I mean, my favorite part of the episode, I was very excited to see Zeb back for the first time in live action. It sounded like Stephen Bloom, and it was. And I thought they were just gonna do, Lasat's all sound kind of the same with the same voice. No, it was Zeb. It's confirmed in the credits, so that was really, really cool. But the plot and pacing of this episode were fantastic. I thought it was a really, really nice, well-rounded episode, especially for the beginning of the second half of the season. We're getting into the rest of the show. All the pieces from these seemingly disparate first four episodes have all now tied together. It's not we still don't really have a through line narrative, but we know that and we've been telling you all this because people don't have patience now. Right now, each episode, this has always been an episodic show. I now we are finally seeing they're moving forward. They didn't forget how to make a TV show. This is their plan. And I understand if this is your least favorite season of The Mandalorian so far. It hasn't. None of the episodes have really blown me away, but I thought this was a really great episode, and I can't wait to see where they're going because I think everything is finally starting to come together. So, those are my thoughts on The Mandalorian season 3, episode 5. Back to you, Sanak.
Thanks, Liam. Yeah, no, definitely agree. I think this may be my favorite one of the whole season. Yeah, I mean there was so many cool things. Like you said, Zeb being in live action was surprising to me. I didn't even realize it was him until the credits came on, and I was like, "No way, Steve Bloom is back. That's Zeb." Yeah, it was shocking, but it makes me quite happy because I think when I was thinking about the Ahsoka show and that whole Ghost Crew reuniting, I found some difficulty in maybe seeing like a fully realized version of Zeb and his species, but it's not something I expected to ever translate to live action unless it was a full CGI character. And even though we didn't get many moments of him, it's not really an action-packed scene. It's just the fact that the proof of concept exists that now I feel very confident he's going to be in Ahsoka and whatever's happening in that storyline. So pretty excited for that. But yeah, no, I agree with your points there. I think again the dogfighting this season has been incredible. Seeing all the perspectives and a little bit more just straight up tactics in Bo-Katan and Din's flying towards Navarro, distracting the pirates, getting the people to safety, dropping off their troops. All of that was awesome. I'm appreciating that the Paz and Din rivalry has simmered. Now it feels like a true brotherhood. Like they are truly Mandalorians looking out for each other. That he got me in the first half. I'm not gonna lie, but it got me really hyped to see that he was like fully on board with helping Din Djarin and helping Grief Karga. I think it really helped me seeing all the stuff with defeating the pirates, the hints at them maybe being propped up by Gideon or someone from the Imperial Remnant, and then having that directly tied back into the New Republic with Carson Teva. I think this more than likely was going to be what Cara Dune's character arc was going to be for this season, really connecting back and going to Coruscant. But I think Carson actually works better here because he is someone who I've always felt the Navy of the rebellion has always been the most staunchly fighting for the right causes in any of the films, any of the stories, and for him to kind of have that conflict with the New Republic officer and Elia Kane being formerly Imperial and still kind of playing it off as like she's a reformed person. I like that he could sniff that out. Very happy with that. Yeah, just an awesome episode all around. I fully agreed. And then that tease at the end, I don't know. I mean, it could be like you said, it could definitely be Bo-Katan's people from before uh, trying to figure out their own plan of action, take their own revenge on Gideon. That's more than likely. But it feels like it's really set up for something else. I don't know if they're working with him. I'm not trying to get into predictions here, but I feel like it could be his own sect of like Imperial super commandos, kind of like how Gar Saxon had his own Mandalorians that were very strongly Imperial affiliated. I would not be surprised to see Gideon's more Mandalorian roots be connected here, and that's what helped break him out like a failsafe. But all right, let's move on to the Bad Batch with our season 2 finale of episode 15, The Summit, and episode 16, Plan 99. Liam, what were your thoughts on the finale as a whole?
Okay, so the Bad Batch finale, episodes 15 and 16, we've been waiting for it, and we did speculate that it was going to be a big finale, Mount Tantus, them going to Mount Tantus, finally discovering all of that. And it's smaller. It doesn't have a big explosive ending. I think the Saw Gerrera thing is sitting with me a little weirdly because I love seeing early Saw. I love seeing early Rebellion stuff and early like Rebellion Strike. But that also feels super random because we haven't seen him since like the third episode of the show. And then now he's here, he ruins the Bad Batch's plan, and then he leaves. So I'm hoping that the rebellion and like that type of subplot is a much bigger part of season 3. That was one of the weird things for me with 15, I think, but the rest of the summit was really cool. Of course, Tynan Krennic was something I mentioned in predictions had to happen. Where we are, and I think I actually mentioned directly Project Stardust name drop, where we are with respect to Catalyst, which I'm very happy they're giving respect to a book that's pretty old now and can't. I wanted to see more people, but obviously we got some cool cameos, of course, and I thought the episode worked really well. The pacing was solid and it was fun and fast paced, but I was expecting a little bigger. But where this truly shines is the character stuff, and that's where the Bad Batch is always kind of shown. And here it's really strong. I mean, we got a lot of tech development, and I think if Tech wasn't so ingrained with the team, I would have probably predicted him to possibly die. I'm still not convinced he's dead. Of course, the fact that Hemlock recovered his goggles means most likely he recovered Tech and he's somewhere. Maybe he's unconscious or in a coma or somewhere, but he's on Tantus, and I'm sure we'll get a bit more resolve to Tech. He dies very quickly, so I don't know if he's actually dead, but again, saving that for prediction. And then, of course, we've speculated about whether this show will be how many seasons. Like, they haven't announced it yet. I'd love for them to announce it at Celebration. I think this could be a three season show. And maybe we lead into, from end of season 3, we lead into a new show because I mean, Sanak and I have talked about this over and over and over again about the larger narrative and Rex and Echo and Cody and all these other clones, Gregor, now Hauser, all these clones out there, part of some network, as part of some rebellion, building towards a clone rebellion. Could we get a second animated show coming out at the same time as this, or even as a follow-up, a sequel to this, that has those characters? I think I would personally love to see that because this show continues to prove over and over again that where it's strongest, even though it does some great world building, it gives us a lot of hints and a lot of nuggets of world building, but where it's strongest is the family dynamic. I am sure season 3 will all be about that. We're going to get a lot more reveals now that Crosshair and Omega are there, and I would assume possibly even Tech. Maybe we'll get more Rex and everybody next season. We'll talk about that in a different video, but I thought the finale worked great. It definitely pays off a lot of those smaller episodes that you sit around with the characters, and we all knew it was going to do that. But I do think I'm hoping for an announcement for season three sooner than later. I'm hoping it's 2024 release date or even end of 2023. It could be. They've been working on this for a long time. But I really enjoyed the finale, and I think it was arguably the best two episodes of the whole season. So those are my thoughts. I'll pass it back over to you.
Yeah, no, definitely agree with all your points there. The part about this being a three-season show, I do really think that is likely now. I still think there's a lot of the Tantus mystery and enough of like the clone dynamics that have still been unexplored so far that I want to see push into 4 seasons of a show. Like I'd love to see the differences between the Bad Batch and who remains of the Bad Batch, of course, and compare them with the Republic Commando versions of like Scorch and Boss and everyone and Fixer and Sev. I'd like that to be characters brought back in. I don't know if that's happening anymore because yeah, I mean the biggest thing that you can really take away from this episode, yeah, we lost Tech. I don't know if I agree with you saying like, "Oh, we didn't see the body, so therefore he's not dead. It's just the goggles." Yeah, typically I would agree. I mean, look, we have Echo on the team. He was quite literally blown up. He should not be alive. Maul got cut up in half. I just think that this is a little too much. I think Tech has to be dead. I mean, the location that we're at, Ariado, is quite dangerous too, as we know from that Tarkin novel from James Luceno, where he grew up in part of his like final rights to adulthood and all that are hunting these dangerous prey. It's like kill or be killed, and not only is he falling from an incredible height, still with a cable attached to the train, but if he manages to survive, you'll have some significant injuries, and then and all the beasts of the wild will be there. I don't really see Tech surviving unless I guess if Hemlock had scooped him up right away. But I don't think the power would be restored right away to Tarkin's facility. It was pretty displeased, so it seems like they'd be more on lockdown there. I also like the touch of Ariado having TK troopers with red pauldrons. I think they're basically Imperial shock troopers, so that was quite cool to see there. Definitely seeing him and his plans. Obviously, we got Krennic. That was one of the things that we thought was more hologram based, but having him be there, it looks like there's like one reused line from Rogue One or like a deleted scene. I also agree. The Saw Gerrera seems like it makes sense for why the bigger, grander, like let's take down Mount Tantus, find the location of where all these clones are being held. That sort of finale didn't happen because of his insurgency rebellion tactics of just let's blow up everything. And yeah, you can really tell that where he is at this point in time. There seems like Saw at least midway through the Dark Times has a lot more tactics, is a lot more in touch with the people that he's working with. Here, he's just on pure revenge at this point, and he's still also not crazy yet, as we see him in the end stages just before Rogue One and fighting against all the other rebel cells. Yeah, it was a little quick too. It was I wouldn't call it an awkward fit, but it wasn't great there. But yeah, I agree with all your points, and we do end up having Sid, your least favorite character, coming back, but in the way that we all expected. She did rat them out. She kind of had to, but I was hoping we could have saved that for later, or if they had run into her. But I guess the timing does make sense here. But Omega is captured. We always were thinking that Omega would be captured in the summit, and then they'd be going out there to rescue her in Plan 99. But that didn't happen. Plan 99 really just seems like when you have to cut the losses of our brotherhood, of our family, do it. And in this case, Tech used that in a way to save his brethren. It is very poignant, but yeah, he's gone. And he had that romantic moment with Fee where he was like just in denial, and she's like, "Come on, brown eyes, don't be like that." I mean, once that happened, I was like, "Okay, I'm off of the Echo dying ship right now. It's definitely Tech, and it happened." But yeah, I mean, we also got that tease at the very end, and that's what we'll save for predictions before season three starts. But yeah, I mean, Omega technically has an age accelerated clone sister. That's what a lot of people were talking about in last week's episode. The one who is torturing Crosshair. I don't know how that dynamic will be with her and also Nala Say. Yeah, I don't know. I'm very curious how much we're going to be spending on Tantus. It does feel like we're going to get a lot of POVs from Omega before she is finally rescued at some point. Excited. I really am excited, but I'm really unsure of what our season 3 will look like or when we'll get it. Maybe we do have a bit of a time skip as well. That could really help get us closer to active rebellion and setting us up with the Bad Batch kind of being weaned off for a different animated sequel show, bridging that gap towards Rebels and Andor. But either way, yeah, it was a strong, personal, smaller scale finale like season 1 was on Camino. Not the one we're expecting, but a very sobering one, one that I appreciate a little bit more and more that I think about it. But I guess we'll end our reviews there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed what we had to say for The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 5, Chapter 21, The Pirate, and The Bad Batch Season 2 finale, Episode 15, The Summit, and Episode 16, Plan 99. The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 6 predictions will be up on Friday, so stay tuned for that. We are doing our Jedi Fallen Order Let's Play on Thursday this time around because I'm also out of town on Friday, just like Liam is. So this was the best time for me to run it by myself. And I hope you guys are all able to hop on in. We've had some really great streams recently, and we want to definitely finish up this game because we're very close to Jedi Survivor. So stay tuned with that and drop all the questions that you have there. Make sure to check out our Heir to the Empire review. It dropped on Tuesday, and it was a really awesome review for us. We definitely enjoyed talking about it. Our Dark Force Rising review is set to be released just after the season 3 finale of The Mandalorian, so stay tuned for that, and then we'll follow it up with The Last Command. And make sure to keep voting on our video game bracket that's going on in the community tab right now, and we'll have a full bracket review and recap for that once it's done. Again, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.